Hello and welcome to Lenzerheide for the 5th round of the UCI Mercedes-Benz Cross Country World Cup. And can you believe it? We're at the business end of the season already. After two monumental events over the last couple of months for our cross-country riders, all eyes now turn to the overall. And there is one rider that knows that probably better than most, and that is the young French woman Loana Lecomte, who at the end of this weekend could have secured enough points to take the overall title. All that remains to be seen from tonight's short track race is, can she do it?
The women were first to take to the track, and all eyes were on the newly crowned UCI short track world champion Sina Frey and her compatriot Jolanda Neff. Overall UCI World Cup leader France's Loana Lecomte came into the race having missed the World Championships through a stomach problem.
So the short track is underway here in Lenzerheide, Switzerland. Oh, and a big crash at the back, straight off the gate.
Awful start for Australian rider Beck McConnell too. She slipped on a pedal at the start line, holding up Olympic champion Jolanda Neff. Swiss rider Linda Indegand led going into the first full lap, with Jenny Rissveds looking strong early on. But not long after, there was disaster for short track world champion Sina Frey.
There's another crash. Oh, look at that.
On to lap 3, and it was Loana Lecomte's turn to edge into the front of the still very large opening group. Lecomte and Swedish woman Rissveds continued to change places for the lead as the race progressed. In lap 5, Anne Tauber and Evie Richards were jostling with them at the front. Local favourite Jolanda Neff was back in 9th, and the Swiss rider was moving up the order rapidly.
Can Neff get across this gap to these leading 4 riders?
Less than a minute later, she joined the top 5 breakaway group, with Lecomte out front. On lap 7, it was all to play for between the leading 5 riders.
So Neff up to 2nd place now. Loana Lecomte all of a sudden drops back to 3rd.
XCO world champion Richards then pushed forwards, trying to control the pack. With 1 lap to go, Rissveds, Neff and Richards emerged as front runners. Neff, though, couldn't keep the pace as Richards attacked up the hill.
This will be a sprint to the top.
Oh, Rissveds going with her, Bart.
Yeah, there's not that much space. Inside corner now, she's taking the lead.
And here comes Rissveds now, and Rissveds back to the front then. Oh, look how deep she's digging. And Richards trying to go with her. Wow.
Richards couldn't make up the gap.
And I don't think Evie Richards is going to get her. So here comes Jenny Rissveds then. She's done it. Rissveds takes her 2nd ever short track win here in Lenzerheide, Switzerland. Evie Richards comes across the line in 2nd. Massive cheer for the Olympic champion. Jolanda Neff comes in 3rd.
I think it feels good. It was hard, but good. I told Evie after the finish, like, she inspired me so much. I think that's part of why I won today.
I felt a bit of pressure coming into this race, just not pressure on myself because I want to do well in short track. I love racing it so much, and this year I've just been rubbish. So after last weekend I was like, right, come on, like, we can keep going on good terms from here. So I'm super pleased with my race today.
So Jenny Rissveds tops another podium in Lenzerheide and the 2nd short track win of her career. Teammates Evie Richards and Jolanda Neff take 2nd and 3rd respectively. Loana Lecomte finishes her race in 5th. So 22-year-old Lecomte remains in possession of that white leader's jersey as she looks to build on her sizable lead over Pauline Ferrand-Prévot going into the weekend.
Well, what a race that was. Jenny Rissveds is just becoming synonymous with Lenzerheide, isn't she? And with Evie Richards and Jolanda Neff rounding out the podium, well, it gave something for the fans to cheer about. But it doesn't stop there because the men are lining up next. And it's Swissman Matthias Flukiger who has got something to prove. He was so disappointed after losing out to Nino Schurter at the World Championships. So I'm expecting a massive performance from him tonight.
The men are underway then in Lenzerheide, round 5 of this year's short track.
As so often this season, Anton Cooper claimed the early lead, with the rest of the field hot on his heels. But then, Brazil's Henrique Avancini moved past the Kiwi and led the field around the highest part of the track in lap 1. Avancini pushed hard at the front alongside Jordan Saru and Anton Cooper in 2nd and 3rd, with the field still close together. In the first 4 laps, the lead kept changing and all the top riders were still in the mix. But on lap 5, overall UCI World Cup leader Matthias Flukiger fancied himself and attacked.
Flukiger attacking hard on his climb. Well, it's early to go, but he looks like he's all out.
Flukiger tried everything to escape the chasers, but Koretsky, Avancini and Nino Schurter stayed in striking distance and caught the Swiss shortly after. With Flukiger, Avancini and Schurter at the front, the rest of the field had also caught up with the leaders, and the race was now wide open again. In lap 9, Matthias Flukiger was still in the front of the leading pack ahead of Avancini and Schurter. But then the man who won the last 2 XCC races started yet another attack.
Here goes Matthias Flukiger, again attacking then on this long climb.
Flukiger really went for it, but this time only Henrique Avancini, who'd won the short track silver medal at the World Championship, stayed on his wheel. At the start of the final lap, Koretsky was getting closer to the leaders. But then, Henrique Avancini landed the decisive blow. He overtook Matthias Flukiger around the outside and went to the front. Digging deep all the way to the end, Flukiger tried his best to catch the Brazilian, but it wasn't enough.
It's gonna be this man, Henrique Avancini, who wins in Lenzerheide. Incredible finish from him. Flukiger comes in second, Victor Koretsky takes third.
It's not my first win, but that one has a very deep and special meaning for me. I'm so happy to do what I love, and enjoy it. It's a great day to me.
Yeah, it was a good race today. Probably the tactic didn't work out completely, but I'm happy with the second place.
Henrique Avancini claimed his first short track race victory since 2018, narrowly beating Matthias Flukiger and Victor Koretsky, with world champion in the Olympic distance Nino Schurter finishing in 5th. In the overall standings, Matthias Flukiger maintains his lead ahead of Andre Sink and Jordan Sarrou.
As the sun sets on the beautiful Swiss mountains and the DJ kicks off the tunes in the fan village, we can reflect on an epic evening of racing in tonight's short track. It's so good to see Henrique Avancini back on top of the podium and Matthias Flukiger's second, giving the Swiss fans something to cheer about. But of course, it's not over yet, because Sunday there is the Olympic distance. It's going to be live on Red Bull TV. Make sure you join me, Rob Warner and Bart Brenchens for all of the action.